Hi Westgate Code Crushers. Sorry I can't be there with you today, but hopefully you can follow along with this video and create your second video game in Hopscotch. Good luck, and I can't wait to see what you've created next time we meet. This is just an example of the game you're going to create today. Help Gorilla fill her belly by getting the even numbers. So you're going to be tilting the iPad left and right so that your character can eat the even numbers. Start by opening up Hopscotch on your iPad, and in the bottom right corner make sure you're on Me and then select Create. Then tap on Blank Project and you're ready to get started. For this project, choose any character. I'm going to choose the gorilla, and we're going to give Gorilla 2 commands to start off with. First, when you add a new rule, we're going to select when iPad is tilted right. When iPad is tilted right, we want Gorilla to move on the x-axis, positive 50. So again, that's add new rule. When iPad is tilted right, change x by positive 50. X out twice, and now we're ready to add a second rule. Add new rule. This time select more and when iPad is tilted left. When iPad is tilted left, we want to change x by a negative 50. Remember, left is negative numbers, so when we tilt the iPad left, negative 50 will move the character to the left. Go ahead and tap play and pick up your iPad and tilt it right and left to make sure that your character moves. Go to Edit, drag your character to the bottom of the screen, and now we're ready to add numbers. Select plus sign and then text, and then type in any even number that you want. I'm going to type in 2. Tap Done, and then drag your number to the top of the screen. Let's add another number. Plus sign, text, type in any even number. I'm going to type in 4, press Done, and drag it to the top of the screen. One more, plus sign, text. This time let's type in an odd number. I'm going to type in 15, and then tap Done, and again drag it to the top of your screen. Next, we're going to program the numbers to fall. So tap the number 2 and then add a new rule. When the play button is tapped, we want that number to fall downward. So underneath movement, select change Y by, and remember to fall down we need a negative number. So let's type in negative 500. We need to set the speed of the number. So drag the set speed block over. Select the random oval for the speed, and that just sets the speed from 1 to 100. When you tap play, notice that the 2 falls downward, but it doesn't quite fall far enough. So go to Edit, and let's change that negative 500 to negative 800. Press play again, and notice that the 2 is falling, and this time it actually goes to the bottom of the screen. Go to Edit, and let's program the 4. You might need to X out of the program for the 2 first, and then select the 4 and add a new rule. Again, when play button is tapped, go to movement, and we're going to change Y by negative 800, and select the check mark at the bottom, and also don't forget the set speed. We're going to use a random speed between 1 and 100. X out of that, and let's program the 15. Tap on the 15, add new rule. When play button is tapped, and movement, we're going to select the speed, random, 1 and 100, and then the check mark at the bottom, and select change Y by negative 800. When you tap play, Notice that all three numbers are falling at different speeds. Now we want to make it so it looks like that the monster or the gorilla is eating the numbers. So let's edit the twos program and add a new rule so that when the 2 bumps into the gorilla, it becomes invisible. So watch right now as the first number is programmed, and then I'll go through the steps on the next number. So select the number and select More and find the oval that says when blank bumps into blank. In this case, when the 4 bumps into the gorilla, we want that number to disappear. So that invisibility button is underneath looks and sounds, so drag that over, set invisibility percent to 100. Now for the 15, we want to program the gorilla. So add a new rule for the gorilla and select More, and when the gorilla bumps into 15, or 15 bumps into gorilla, we want the gorilla to decrease in size. So underneath the green button, looks and sounds, let's do shrink by 20% and tap play to see how that looks. On purpose, make your character touch the odd number, 15, and notice that that shrinks it down pretty small. So let's go to Edit, and let's change that shrink by to a different percent. Let's try 80. Tap play, and again, make your character touch that number on purpose to see how small it shrinks the character. And again, it gets pretty small. So one more time, let's go back to Edit, and let's do shrink by, let's say, 10%. Press play, and just make sure you get it to the way you like it. I think the 10% is going to work just fine. Now we're ready for the next step, which is to add rules for the game so that the player knows what to do. So tap the plus sign and select Text and type in rules. I'm going to type in help gorilla fill her belly with even numbers. Tilt the iPad left and right. When you're done typing, press Done, and then put the text in the middle of the screen so that the player of your game knows what to do. Make sure you add a rule because we don't want that text to stay there. So add a new rule and select when the play button is tapped. At the very bottom, underneath control flow, let's make it wait 6,000 milliseconds, which is 6 seconds. X out of that, and then select set invisibility to 100%. That way it'll disappear after 6 seconds, and it won't be in the way of the game. Now notice that the text is on the screen, and after 6 seconds it will disappear. We probably also need to make sure that the numbers don't start falling until after the directions disappear. So let's go to Edit and let's add one more thing to the numbers to make them not fall until after the directions are on the screen. So tap on the 2, and the very first rule that we programmed at the very beginning of the video, let's just add one wait button to the top and put down 6,000 milliseconds. That will make sure that the number doesn't start falling until the directions disappear. Again, tap on the number, go to the very first program or rule that we made, and add a wait 6,000 to the very top. Now one more time to the 15, select the top rule, and then go down to control flow and find wait, and then type in 6,000 milliseconds. Now you should be able to play the game, and notice that the text is on the screen and the numbers aren't falling quite yet. And after 6 seconds it disappears and numbers start falling, and you can tilt your iPad left and right to make sure that your game works. I hope you enjoyed creating this game. Feel free to experiment by adding more numbers for your character to eat, and I look forward to seeing what you've created next week.